Hello everyone, this is Shajil from Literature Redefining World. We have a special show on this Valentine's Day. This show is dedicated to my father K.M. Andru, the founder editor of Literature, who was a short story writer, essayist and critic. Our praise for him who left us on 19th December 2020. As you all know, on Valentine's Day, flowers and gifts are exchanged between loved ones around the world, all in the name of Saint Valentine. But who is this mysterious saint? Why do we at Literature desire to celebrate Valentine's Day? We feel love is the heartbeat of the universe. It is not the love between the man and woman. Love emanated from our heart to the different destinations for diverse manifestations of the universe. There are many myths around Saint Valentine. One legend says that Valentine was a priest who served during the 3rd century in Rome. When Emperor Claudius II decided that single men made better soldiers than those with wives and families, he outlawed marriage for young men. Valentine, realizing the injustice of the decree, defied Claudius and continued to perform marriages for young lovers in secret. When Valentine's actions were discovered, Claudius ordered that he be put to death. Valentine sacrificed his life for upholding justice. According to a popular legend, an imprisoned Valentine actually sent the first Valentine greeting himself after he fell in love with a young girl, possibly his jailer's daughter, who visited him during his confinement. Before his death, it is alleged that he wrote her a letter signed, "From your Valentine," an expression that is still in use today. Now in 2021, we have poets across the globe together here to celebrate Valentine's Day. We have Jack Foley from United States, Razauddin Stalin from Bangladesh, Nafisa Parvin Irani from India, Anna Maria Dall'Olia from Italy, Francis Edmund Bolo from Romania, Malgorzata Boryskowska from Poland. Welcome all to the show. Jack Foley's presence in universe poetry scene, both as a poet and critic, has been duly noted for good 4 decades. He is the best known star of Radio KPFE for his weekly show. Now we have Jack Foley, the great literature from California, to begin our show with his poem, "For My Love of Valentine's Day at Christmas 2020.
The old fellow that you see on your screen right now is me, Jack Foley. I'm going to read you a poem, and this poem was written at Christmas time 2020, but it's also a Valentine's Day poem. And the reason for that is that my love, Sange, and I date our relationship, which now goes back a few years, to Valentine's Day. And I'm actually wearing a claddagh, which is an indication, an Irish indication of our affection. It's called "For My Love of Valentine's Day at Christmas 2020. The day of hearts and the day of the birth of love. For a moment the universe holds its breath until what? Fate is accomplished. Is that how it happens? Or do we only feel it that way? Do we move towards being an old couple? We met 3 days after Christmas in 2016. Now Christmas comes again. The old story of the kings, the manger, the child. I remember Dickens. The central moment of A Christmas Carol is when Scrooge says, "Poor boy, poor boy." The Christ child, too, was destined for sorrow, the shadow of the cross touching the manger. I think of your sorrows, my love, which I feel acutely. I believe I have seen you feel the sorrow at the heart of life. This is a love poem, but sorrow enters into it at the time of the year when we are called upon to rejoice. Love and sorrow are near of kin. We met because of two deaths, your stepfather, my wife. Passion took us on the day of love. There were no regrets, no second thoughts, and now we have been together for 4 sweet years. Lives intersect like boughs blown together in the wind, and if they stay, it is a magic exercised by unknown gods who smile at us and tell us, this is the heart of life. This is the sudden shining forth, where the gifts and the givers are less than the love to which they give. That's my Valentine's Day poem and a Christmas poem as well. And this is Jack Foley. I want to thank Litterateur TV and particularly the editor, Shagil Anthro, for giving us this opportunity to display our wares. Not just me, but several others as well. Good job. Thank you, Shagil.
Rasauddin Stalin is a well-known poet in Bangladesh and beyond. He is a former deputy director of Nasrul Institute, where he has employed for 35 years. Stalin's poem got translated in most languages in the world, and he is also a well-known TV anchor and media personality in Bangladesh. He is the founder and chairman of the Performing Arts Center and also a senior editor of Magic Lantern, a literary organization.
Courage. Don't think, my darling, if someone gives you the sky, I'll give you the sun. If he gives you the rain, I'll give you the tree. More precious than diamond, I'll give you the first boat if anyone gives you the river. Don't think, my darling, if someone lights a chandelier, I'll fill the path with starlight. If he gives you a golden nose ring, I'll make the same with the rainbow. If someone gives an anklet, I'll give you the river's flowers. Don't think, my darling, if he promises you with a golden book, simply I will give you the alphabet of my mother tongue. If anyone gives you the worldwide house, I will give you only a full-length sari, just to cover your hidden organ.
Nafisa Parveen is a school teacher, short story writer, poet, motivational speaker, and nature lover. She lives in Malda, West Bengal, India. In her words, life is an ocean of emotions. I want to dive into it with my thoughts. She is with us reciting her poem named Hate Poem. Welcome, Nafisa.
Hi, I'm Nafisa Parveen Irani from India. I live in a very small town of West Bengal named Malda. Today, I want to recite a poem written by me that is called Hate Poem for the online magazine Literature Redefining World. Thanks for giving me the chance. So here it is my poem. Hate Poem. Valentine's Day is coming. Everyone wants to hear love poetry. Love is in the ear, in mind too. But I am full of hatred. Hatred towards me, hatred for me, hatred for the soul that I loved you. Once, today, and tomorrow. Hope you will enjoy the poem. Have a nice time. Thanks.
Anna Maria Dall'Olia has been teaching English in Italian high school since 1987. She devoted herself to fiction, poetry, and playwriting. She published a novel and 5 collections of poems. Groping the Attack is a poem for us.
My name is Anna Maria Dall'Olio. I live in Italy. I've been teaching English in Italian high schools since 1987. I devoted myself to fiction, poetry, and playwriting. In 2005, I was ranked second in Hanoi via Rendezvous, a Vietnamese culture competition for a millennial celebration of Hanoi. In addition, I was ranked first, second, third in lots of literary competitions for my Italian poems. I was inspired by Alessandro, a man I loved. I met him a few months after my mother's death. He died about 5 years ago. I wrote this poem when he was still alive. I can remember Alessandro reading it. I can't imagine a better reader. Groping the attack. On the floor, you found my soul. Falling candles, crumbled walls, pots of upset sadness. Your hands of so skilled a man, suddenly, bravely, strongly, from a soul pruned death. First identified in shouts, later uprooted in despair. Thanks for your attention. I especially thank the makers of show Litterateur Redefining Words.
Francis Edmund Balogh is a Romanian poet, writer, and musician. 2020 is a year when his success grew at a different level. He was published in more than 10 anthologies across the country. He also writes in English and is published in various international magazines. The poem for us today from him is The Breeze of Love.
Hello everyone. My name is Francis Edmund Balogh. I'm a poet, writer, musician, percussionist from Romania, from the town of Satu Mare, near the Hungarian border. I write mainly in Romanian. The poems I wrote in Romanian were translated so far into German and French. The poems I wrote in English, they were published so far in the UK and in India. Today, I will recite a poem about love, about how easily we can trespass that line where something really special begins, something ready to be remembered for the rest of our life and maybe for eternity. The Breeze of Love. The breeze of love came out of nowhere like a tender, haunting echo of a song, like the light of the dawn spilled over the perimeter of the darkness. Our heartbeats turned into the waves of a tide breaking the rocky shores of the monotonous repetition of day and night. The amber of our warm whispers was biting off chunks of flesh from the core of eternity. Love memories placed forever the seed of stillness inside the heart of the running time. So, this was my poem. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you, Litterateur TV, for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you to you, all the viewers and listeners, to this poem of mine and to this wonderful Valentine's Day feast. Thank you and be in love.
Malgosata Boroskoska. He's a history and English teacher who lives in Poland. He has been writing poems for nearly 20 years, being rewarded in many smaller and larger poetry contests. Her poems were published in 2 poetic books and in many anthologies of poetry and printed in several periodicals. Hear Not About You now from her.
A poem not about you. I dreamt a poem last night, a poem about God, about oily, greasy soil and Bruegel. The poem was beautiful, for sure, since I cried while reading it to my students, and they cried while they heard me cry when I was reading my poem. It already made me realize that I was dreaming. Apart from high school graduates, no one stops listening to poems anymore. And they do that because of feeling hopeless. So I dreamed a poem, which I can't really remember clearly, but I remember that when I turned grey with the dawn and it flew away, scared by the sound of the alarm clock, your hand on my pillow and those rays around your eyes and mouth, messy hair and your slightly unconscious look held me by my heel in our own morning poem, probably better than the one in which God was, but whose lines lacked you.
Before we conclude, here is my poem for this day. The name of the poem is Let It Be About Love. When every fowl comes there to choose his mate, when every dreams come closer to fulfillment, when every man stands against injustice, when every man starts loving his enemy, prisons become open, boundaries fade, beheaded heads become history, beheading, hatred and wrath. No one died, no one sees his life, no one goes from us, no one missed the memory of universe. If you are in love, love with anyone, anything in the universe, your footsteps are recorded. Like your heartbeats, like your brainwaves, each and every words of you will never fade. It will emerge. Emerge for the future to hear, and let it be about love, not hatred. And let it be about love, not hatred.
Thank you, everyone. Let's just love this world.